Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a situation at work, a termination, a write up, a conversation with HR, where something felt wrong, but you didn't know what to call it? You didn't know if what happened was illegal. You didn't know if you had options. You weren't even sure if you were allowed to be upset. So you let it go. You moved on. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you still think about it. I'm here because of that gap between something wrong happening and someone actually telling you what it means should not exist. And today, I'm going to tell you exactly why it does. Here's the thing that almost nobody in the employment space will say plainly. The employment system in this country was not designed with workers in mind. It was designed by people with lawyers for people with lawyers. The deadlines are short, the language is technical, the process is complicated, and the people inside your company who are supposed to help you, HR, are paid by the same organization you might need to hold accountable. That is not an accident. That is a design. Now, I want to be clear about something. I'm not here to tell you that every employer is corrupt or that every HR professional is working against you. That is not true. I have spent over a decade working in human resources. I have been the HR professional. I understand the operational constraints, the compliance pressures, and the genuine complexity of running a workforce. But I also know what workers are never told. And that knowledge gap is costing people their rights, their money, and their careers every single day. My name is Ebony Beene, and I am the founder of Emerald Career Consulting. I've spent over a decade working inside human resources, which means I've sat in the meetings that happen before you get called into HR. I've seen how termination decisions are made, how documentation gets built, and how the process unfolds from the employer's side of the table. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, a master's in human resource management, and I am currently completing a master of jurisprudence in labor and employment law. I also consult for small businesses, so I actively advise employers on compliance, HR structure, and employment policy. I tell you all of this not to impress you, but because what I do on this channel requires all of it simultaneously. I am the only person I know of who covers both sides of the employment relationship, workers and employers, from direct experience on both sides, with active legal training and with a clear orientation toward the people who get hurt the most when the system fails, workers. So here's what this channel is. This is the place where I give working people the knowledge that the employment system was never designed to give them. Whether you're an employee trying to figure out if what happened to you was legal, or a small business owner trying to understand what you are actually required to do, this channel exists to make the employment system as understandable as a text message. We are going to talk about your rights. We are going to talk about what HR actually does and doesn't do. We are going to break down real cases, real laws, real situations in plain language with concrete steps that you can take before Monday morning. No, it depends without the follow through. No legal disclaimers to make the content useless. Just the truth about how work actually works from someone who has operated inside every part of it. Let me tell you specifically who this channel is for. If you have ever been fired and felt like something was wrong, but you did not know what to do, what to save, or how much time you had, this is for you. If you are still at a job that feels hostile, retaliatory, or discriminatory, and you're not sure whether what you're experiencing has a name, this is for you. If you signed a severance agreement the same week you lost your job because someone handed you a pen and told you you didn't know that you could wait, this is for you. If you are a small business owner with 5, 10, 50 employees, and you genuinely do not know whether your policies are compliant, this is for you too. And if you have just always expected that the employment system was built for employers and not for workers, and nobody in your world has ever confirmed that, you're in the right place. Let me give you one example right now of what I mean. If something illegal happened to you at work, You have 180 days to file a federal discrimination charge with the EEOC. In some states, that extends to 300 days, while federal employees have a more strict timeline. Most workers do not know that that clock exists. They spend months processing what happened, talking to friends, hoping the situation resolves, and the entire time that window is closing. That deadline does not start when you figure out what happened. It does not start when you hire a lawyer. It starts the day the discriminatory act occurred. The EEOC secured nearly $700 million for workers in the last fiscal year alone. Every single one of those workers filed in time. The workers who did not file because nobody told them that the clock was running got nothing. That is one law, one deadline, one fact that could change the outcome of a case. There are hundreds more, and I am going to walk you through all of them. Here's what we're going to cover on this channel. We're going to talk about what at-will employment actually means and the 3 words your employer always leaves off at the end of that sentence. We are going to talk about HR, what they are required to do, what they are not, and what to do instead of walking in unprepared. We are going to talk about retaliation because it almost never looks like what you think it looks like, and most workers miss it until it's too late. We're going to talk about severance agreements, documentation, filing deadlines, FMLA, the NLRA, hostile work environments, and wrongful termination, all of it in language that you can actually use. We are going to cover real cases, real laws, real outcomes. And we're going to do it from both sides of the desk because that is the only way to give you a complete picture. The employment system was not built for you, but understanding it completely, clearly from both sides is the closest thing to protection that most workers will ever have access to. That is what I'm here to give you. If this is the kind of content that you've been looking for, subscribe. Every video I publish is going to give you something you can use, not theory, not disclaimers, something you can act on. And if there's a specific situation that you're dealing with right now, drop it in the comments. I read them. Your question may become the next video. I am Ebonye Beene, founder of Emerald Career Consulting. Welcome to the channel.